Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the 38th installment of the Researchers Q&A. And we're just going to jump right in. And today, Sarah has a question.
Hi, Sandra.
I was wondering if there's anything I can do to become a little bit more conscious when sleeping. I remember my dreams, but I'm not able to act consciously, and there's no critical thinking when I'm dreaming. Also, I was wondering, since after we pass over, we end up in the psychical world, and that's also the same place we go when we dream. Would that mean I'm also unconscious, as unconscious after I pass over, as when I sleep at night, currently? Oh yeah, that's right. And the trick about becoming more conscious in your dream state or after passing over is here, in this world. Because you'll never be more conscious in that world than you are here. So the idea is to become alert, become awake in this world, and become more conscious here. And that automatically transfers over. So how do you do that? Well, there's different ways to do that. Of course, all of our exercises and practices are leading to that. But another thing Daskos recommended was create an elemental of, he called Virgil, which is meant alert. And you have to just train yourself to be alert as much as possible. All during the day, when you're typing on a computer, when you're driving the car, just try to be here now in that moment. And that creates an alertness with you that you carry with you on the other side. Now, another thing I might recommend is that when you go to bed at night, program your subconsciousness, because your subconsciousness really can do a lot of work for you. Say to it, I will be alert and have critical thinking in my dreams. Something like that. You can make up your own words. If you want to make it stronger, write it down in red letters and read it to yourself every night. Because you're right, people don't have critical thinking in that world. We just take whatever happens. I mean, one minute you could be walking along, next minute you could be flying, next minute you could be underwater. And you don't ever think, well, I can't breathe underwater, but here I am underwater just fine. Or, how am I flying? I can't fly under. We don't think about the experiences we have in relationship to what we know. So we're not comparing the two different worlds. If you did, you would all of a sudden go, oh, well, I know I must be in the psychoanalytic worlds because I can't do that on Earth, for example. And just everything we do here, all our meditations when we're really bringing focus, and all of them, it just trains us to be more alert. But when we stop doing it, we kind of fall back in old patterns and just tend to fall into accepting things, whatever comes, the next thing comes. We just accept it without critical thinking. So those are two different ways you can help.
You answered most of it.
Oh, I missed something?
It's a great answer. He mentioned the word a lot. This is the key word, because when we wish to bring the experience in the other dimension, which we call dream, and consciously experience in the other dimension, to make it possible, we have to exercise, we have to train ourselves to be alert, to be aware, being aware to do whatever we do in this dimension. So like Daniel says, whatever we do, for example, when we watch the movie, we focus on the content of the movie, we concentrate on received impressions about the movie, right? But also please be aware who is watching that movie, what is watching that movie. So please make a bridge between consciousness, which we are watching or doing whatever, and also being aware who we are and what we are. So making a bridge between consciousness and the self-awareness, that makes us to be aware in the different dimensions. And when we get used to do it, receive the impression through our self-awareness, being aware of ourselves, then we can make action in the other dimension like we do in this dimension. So one advice is to make a bridge and cultivate being aware yourself in this dimension. And also our exercise really is helpful, especially visualization exercise. To visualize something using the many levels of the mind, that helps us a lot to see everything in the other dimension. So please train yourself to visualize something using the kinetic, aesthetic, and imprinting, the three functions of ether. That helps too. And yes, also as Daniel said, right before you fall asleep in the bed, you just auto-suggest yourself that I will have a conscious dream and bring it back when I come back to this dimension. Right before you fall asleep, please say it to yourself. Then slowly you will be able to bring it back, bring your experience back to this dimension. This is my advice. Yeah, and when we train ourselves like this, then when we pass on, what I mean is that death of material body, we can hold this kind of self-awareness even after passing on to the other dimension. So it's really helpful and beneficial training. Because she's asking Sarah is there. Sarah, you say you might be unconscious even you after passing to the other dimension, but don't worry. You experience everything not unconsciously. You just can't bring it back to your material brain, to this dimension. But what you experience when you are sleeping is really you are experiencing something. You just can't bring it back so far, right now. But after training, you can do it. You can remember all your experiences.
And that has to do with leaving a little bit of the etheric on the material brain when you pass out. Most of us, when we just go to sleep, all the etheric goes with us. So there's not a bridge between the two worlds. So the experiences you have there don't get transferred back to the material brain, unless maybe they're a really strong nightmare or a really beautiful dream, then it vibrates enough that you can bring them back with it. But there are training exercises to leave some of the ethers with your material brain so it can make that bridge.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, when we say, Dasko says there's no such thing as dreams, they're real experiences on the psychical plane, but most of them are just real experiences of the elementals in your psychonoetical shell. And so on the psychical plane, these things and this is true in dream or after death, these elementals in your subconsciousness manifest as people, places, and things. Now, so we say it's a real experience, but it's a real experience with these elementals, which may or may not be true in a sense. They can be illusionary. So every time you have an illusion, you can't have an illusion unless there's a reality behind it. So in this case, we could say the dream is the illusion, but the dreamer is the reality behind it. Now, Alex is asking, during the visualization exercise, does it matter how one visualizes themselves? That is, if one sees themselves from a distance, like watching a movie, or visualizes themselves looking through their own eyes, basically looking within and not at themselves from a distance. Well, you can do anything. I mean, it's up to you. In some meditations, we visualize ourselves in front of us, with our back to us. And we build symbols on that visualization. So what is that visualization of ourself? It's an elemental, right? So sometimes you can transfer your, let's say, self-awareness into that elemental, and then you would be seeing with the eyes of the elemental. So it's more than just one thing. Sometimes I like to be like a little drone and just zoom all around and see myself from different angles. So there's no limit to it. And the nice thing is whatever you like doing, that really trains you in visualization. So it's not so much important whether you see yourself from behind with a star over you or the symbol of life on you, or you see from the eyes of the elemental. It's all good.
Yeah. My advice is, before that, hi Alex. My advice is, at the beginning, maybe you'd better observe everything from inside of your body, the elemental which you create, or in the body, from the body. And when you get used to, maybe look at yourself as if you are watching yourself in front of you, like this way, and observe. And maybe next step, like Daniel said, you can, at the point, at a point of receiving impression, you just, move around like a drone, and observe everything. And when we train deeper and deeper and so many times and many angles, then we will be able to see what we are creating, the psychological image, from any angle at the same time. I hope I can explain well, but we can see everything from any angle at the same time. We will reach that condition and state. This is my advice.